Part 3, Chapter 1. Jacob awoke in a nice comfy bed by a small fire in a small room. Jacob closed his eyes and thought about the previous events. What could that have been? Jacob said out loud to himself. The same monster that killed the guardian of the red gem, said a voice from the corner. Then Zemetis stepped out of the shadows. We shall speak no more of it. Since you are awake, we shall be going on. What happened to me after I blacked out? Asked Jacob. You were dragged by Matt to the hole in the wall and stayed with you until the rest of us got back. It's a good thing that thing, whatever it was, didn't follow you. It could have easily killed you both, explained Zemetis. I took all of you to an inn. All of the group is ready, and as soon as you're dressed, we shall be off. Zemetis left, and Jacob dressed himself in some clothes neatly folded on the bed. He then came downstairs and was greeted by the group.
Hey, Jacob, we're really worried about you,
said Jessica. Thanks. I'm fine. Where are we going? Asked Jacob. Zemetis says we're going to Centralia City, answered Matt. Why? Asked Jacob.
That's what Zemetis...
That's when Zemetis... Wait.
That's me. That's what Zemetis talked to me about in private. Back in the chamber, we need to come up with a plan to take out the Dark Lord, and the leader of Zemetis' anti-dark resistance group is based in Centralia City, somewhere deep in the ground. So we are going to meet with him.
Explained Jessica. Then Zemetis walked in and said, All right, everybody, I assume that Jessica has told you about where we will be going. Jessica nodded her head. Good, then we shall embark at once. We need to be there by less than a week. If we don't have any, distractions, we should be there on time. All your things are packed. Please go into the carriage outside, said Zemetis. They all walked out of the house and into the dirt road with a few farmhouses on both sides of the street. As they started walking towards the carriage, they heard a whistle and the driver slumped dead. Chapter 2. Everybody get down! Yelled Zemetis. The group fell flat as another arrow came whistling by from a rooftop, just missing Jacob's head. One of the officers put on an arrow and pushed his back against the wall to the house, while Zemetis and another officer unsheathed their swords and pulled out shields and stepped in front of the kids and told them to run to the house. Arrows flying from both sides flying. 3 kids opened the door, slammed it, and bolted. This is crazy! What's going on? Asked Matt. I don't know, but a bow sniper's on the house next to this one, answered Jacob.
What should we do?
Let's take him out! Exclaimed Matt. No, let's not, answered Jacob and Jessica at the same time.
I think somebody said something about a sage down in the house, in the basement,
said Jessica. All right, let's go. They walked into the study, and Jessica stopped and looked around.
I remember Zemetis said it was in the study, but I don't know where.
Matt started pushing books on the shelf while Jacob and Jessica looked under tables and rugs. After about a minute, Matt called out as the wall opened up, revealing a spiral staircase that went down to the darkness. As they walked through the opening, the wall closed behind them, and for a second the corridor was pitch black. Then a blue magical haze from the walls lit up the staircase, and they descended. After about 5 minutes, they got to the bottom, and the staircase quickly descended to the bottom. Wow! They all cried out with wonder as the dark blue turned to a bright green. Ahead, an iron door stood about 10 feet away at the bottom of the corridor. They walked over it, and they pulled out their coins and touched the door with them. The door opened soundlessly, and they walked through. Matt turned around and pushed the door closed, and they started moving after they heard a click. Bright green lights lit up the hall, and they saw about 5 doors with the walls a stone brick and the floors made of marble. This is so cool, said Matt as he opened the closet door to his left. Inside, the walls were lined with armor and weapons of every kind, but before he could pick up a dagger with a hilt of pure gold, Jacob grabbed his arm. Don't touch anything. It could set off a trap. In a safe chamber? You never know. Then Jessica yawned.
I'm tired. I've had a bed chipper. And one of the doors. You two can keep watch.
Chapter 3. Can we at least have one weapon per person? All I have is coin and I'm not even sure how to work it, complained Matt. Fine, agreed Jacob. Matt picked up a mace and Jacob chose a long sword. They sheathed their weapons and sat outside Jessica's door. I'll take first watch, offered Matt. Jacob lied down and went to sleep. About at 11, Matt woke Jacob up. Do you hear that? Whispered Matt. They both listened and heard a rumbling noise. I bet it's the wall we came through, whispered Matt. Whoever it is, they can't get through without a quest coin, remember? Whispered Jacob back. Still, I think we should hide in Jessica's room anyways, said Matt. Okay. Jacob and Matt opened Jessica's door, closed it, and barred them.
What's going on?
Asked Jessica as she woke up. Shh, listen. The three put their ears to the door and heard a blaring siren go off all of a sudden. There must be a detector at the bottom of the stairs. These guys don't sound like good guys, observed Jacob. Then they heard heavy footsteps, and after a big bang, they heard the iron door fall to the ground. Guys, we need to get out of here now, whispered Jacob urgently. Let's take him, Matt whispered loudly.
No, guys, under my bed there's a door,
said Jessica. As the footsteps grew louder and the siren still blared, the three of them climbed under the bed, and Jessica quickly opened the door and jumped down, followed by Jacob, then Matt, who closed the door above them. They were in a dirt hallway, and the only light came from the cellar above. They started walking blindly down the passage till Jacob suddenly screamed and fell. Jessica, are you okay? Asked Matt. Matt, there's a slide here, said Jacob. Bang, Jessica's door to her room fell down. Let's get down, answered Matt to the sound. Jacob went first, and Matt waited 10 seconds, then hopped down and onto the slide. The slide spiraled down into the darkness for a few minutes, and they all met at the bottom of a wider dirt hallway with torches lighting the hallway. Jessica turned and faced them.
I don't know where we are. In my classes at the palace, they talked about the underroad, an underground road used years ago. But it was abandoned because I'm not gonna say.
I don't think this is a time you should be laughing, Jessica. Oh, come on, Jessica, whined Matt.
Fine. It was said some sort of evil creature inhabited the tunnels, soon after the Dark Lord regained his throne.
Chapter 4. As she said it, it seemed as if a deep chill blew past them. I don't like this place. Let's keep going, Jacob urged. They started moving down the hallway to the right because it slightly went up. After about 10 minutes, it started dropping, and then they came to some crossroads. Which way should we go? Asked Jacob. Jessica blew the dust off one of the signs and then said,
This one says it goes to Rainfront in Hebron.
What about this one? It says to Centralia City, said Jacob.
Yep, that would be the one.
They started off, and it stayed straight most of the way. I'm too tired to keep going. You guys got like 3 hours of sleep last night. I haven't had any, complained Matt. Okay, let's rest here, agreed Jacob.
We can't sleep down here,
exclaimed Jessica. Her voice seemed to echo down the chamber. Well, we have to sleep somewhere, right? It'll take us days to reach Centralia City, and that's by carriage. We can't just not sleep for like a week and a half, explained Jacob.
That's true. I guess we'll have to sleep here then,
agreed Jessica. Isn't there like some sort of resting station above ground, when this road was being used? Asked Matt.
No, not that I know of. If there was, it would have been sealed off with magic when you know what happened. Besides, we probably aren't going under any city or anything. We aren't that far from Maverick still,
explained Jessica. Oh, okay, then let's get some sleep. Jacob, it's your turn to take shift, said Matt. It only took Matt and Jessica a few minutes to fall asleep, leaving Jacob alone in this eerie chamber. After a few hours, Jacob thought he saw something glowing red, but he told himself he was just tired. After about an hour later, he woke up Matt for his shift and fell asleep. When he woke up at first, he couldn't tell if it was morning or not because there was no light outside. But he saw Matt and Jessica eating food from a basket of food Jessica was able to bring last second. After everyone was done, they set out again, this day much like the last one, the next one too, and the next one, and the next one. Finally, on the 6th day, the terrain began to change. First, it was merely just strips of water, then it turned to puddles. Finally, it would fill the chamber hip deep. A few times they had to swim to get across.
We must be under Lake Minvon, or I don't know where this water could be from,
noted Jessica. So, like Minmon is like the halfway mark between Maverick and Centralia City, right? Asked Matt.
Yes, it is. Only 6 more days to go in this creeper chamber,
said Jessica in disgust. Stop talking about the chamber. It gives me a bad feeling inside whenever you mention it, said Jacob.
Okay, sorry. Oop, another puddle. Ugh, my face is all dirty. My legs are cut up. My hair is ruined. And worst of all, my dress is ruined,
complained Jessica. Come on, don't be a little princess, said Matt with a scowl.
I am a little princess,
answered Jessica. Chapter 5. Finally, on the 10th night, Jacob was shaken awake by Matt. Look, do you see those eyes? Whispered Matt. Then the torches went out and dread overwhelmed Jacob. Then the thing made a yell of some sort of mix in between a werewolf, a little girl scream, and as loud as a roar. The call shook the narrow hall, sending dust and rocks everywhere. The three were too afraid to do anything but sit there in pure horror. Then through the dust, the thing pounced over to them. That was the first time they saw the Jawcraw.
Roar.
The Jawcraw was a beast created by the Dark Lord, one of the most powerful creatures ever created. It has the head of a wolf and the body of a jaguar. The Jawcraw slashed its claw with dark shadows coming from them, slashed and cut Matt along the chest. Then when they least expected it, they all felt a glimmer of hope. Their coins were glowing a bright blue. They each picked up their coins and turned into a warrior about 8 feet tall with heavy armor and broadswords with blades 5 feet long. They charged it, but the Jawcraw avoided the blows. Then the Jawcraw transformed into the same thing but bigger, its head now touching the ceiling by just standing on 4 legs. Again they attacked it, but it would block the blows with its paws and go for the legs, which they would avoid by jumping from side to side. Then Matt tried jabbing, but the Jawcraw hit the flat side of the sword with its paw, sending the sword flying into the wall. The Jawcraw then hit Matt in the chest with his paw, making him go flying backwards. The top of the hall now was near collapsing. The Jawcraw made the yell again, then shot a ray of darkness from his mouth, eyes, nose, and ears, knocking Jessica and Jacob back with their armor melting. As they knocked into the wall, the hallway collapsed with boulders and dirt into the hallway. Now the coins changed colors to white, and the 3 of them turned into bats. Although blind, they could all see perfectly in the dark now. Jessica and Jacob both helped lift Matt, who now is badly injured. Jacob and Jessica raced down the hallway, dodging rocks and all sorts of debris coming from the ceiling. The hallway starts going up, then up ahead a pile of dirt blocks their way. Then their coins turn gray, and they turn into rhinos. We have to move this dirt before we get buried alive, or the Jawcraw gets to us, exclaimed Jacob.
We need to push it,
said Jessica. Jacob and Jessica started pushing while Matt tried to follow and stay on his feet. Even though Matt had changed forms, he was still injured. Finally, they got through and kept running. Still, dust, dirt, and rock was falling everywhere. Then they ran out of energy. The coins stopped glowing and they returned to their original forms. Now the debris was too high to keep moving. Chapter 6. It's over. We're too weak to keep going. Too much. Groaned Jacob. Then after a blinding flash of light, the ground above them disappeared, and standing above them, a man with a big white cloak, snow-white hair, and a golden headband pointed his staff at them, lifting them off the ground and putting them on the outside ground. I am the great wizard of the world, also the leader of the anti-dark resistance. I know you have met my vice-wizard Zemetist. He is currently in a bit of trouble. I will take you, wounded friend, here to my place, and I will heal him. For now, these 2 senior wizards will be in charge of you. Good luck. And with that, he carried Matt, levitated, and flew away. Then the 2 wizards turned to Jacob and Jessica. I don't believe we've met. Here is Rog Kolsgoff. The one on the right gestured to the other. And my name is Richard Mallarton, Jacob's granddad. And with that, Jacob passed out.